So in this one, we got Joe Budden destroys the game for Kendrick hate. And we've spoken about the game before, man. The game, while a talented rapper, very talented rapper, I think he does sabotage himself with his antics. But let's be clear too, man. As talented as he is, he's not better than Kendrick. And people try to segregate like aspects of talent. They'll say, "Oh, well, as we'll see in this clip, in this video, well, the game is a better rapper, but Kendrick's a better." You can't segregate aspects of talent. It has to be taken as a whole. The game is just not. I don't think he's a better rapper, one, but he's definitely nowhere near as talented. This is why we make the distinction between Drake and Kendrick, because Drake has had reference tracks and writers and things like that. Kendrick hasn't. So that's a different level and different type of talent overall, right? But having said that, let's get started with the video.
Welcome back to Markets at Work Media. So we got Joe Budden and the pod giving their reaction and commentary about the whole game, going on Club Shay Shay, calling out Kendrick Lamar with this whole line talking about,
"You still the best rapper from Compton?"
I'm definitely the best rapper from Compton.
Definitely?
Definitely.
Who's the best rapper on the West Coast today?
Game.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah, it ain't. That's it.
Ain't nobody getting at you?
Can't nobody outrap me, man. And anybody that knows will know. Because people can't, even if you are, like, no one can do what I can do. Like, no one has my skill set. Because not only do I have the ability to wrap circles around people, I'm also with all the bullshit too, if it came down to that.
come on.
Yeah, but that don't make you the best, because there's other people that have a specific skill set, and there's other people that's with the bullshit. So I don't think that that's a legit answer for being the best out of the West. And yes, those are shots, of course. But look, I ain't really against any rapper saying that they're the best, especially if they feel like they can back it up. I just feel like you've had an opportunity to prove it. And yes, being the level of success that you reach is a marker of how good you are. I don't care what nobody say, it just is. And being a good artist, being a good performer, all of that makes up the talent pool, does it not? All of that makes it up. So when you have an artist like Kendrick who can rap, who can write, who is a critically acclaimed writer, who is a great performer and does everything well, not just rap, not just because he has a specific skill set. He has his own style. So the same can be said, the same thing the game is saying can be said for Kendrick, except you can keep adding to it. You can keep adding to it, especially success-wise, and that is definitely a metric.
Oh, dog, that's what we doing, man. You went from the battle acting shady to continuing after the battle still acting shady with Dot. Why, bro? You passed him the torch. You supposed to be good, but you over there looking salty. What is happening?
Dude, you look like a hating ass nigga to continue to say I'm better than a person who just put up arguably one of the best years you've ever seen in hip hop.
Yeah.
There's no way to spin it.
Because I'm saying
he could be a great rapper. He could be one of the best from the West Coast. If you constantly say, he's not saying I'm the best rapper. He's saying I'm the best rapper from Compton. You know what you're doing. You know how it looks.
Yeah, I think
he with all that.
And
He's with all that.
And I think he's hating on Kendrick. But I still think what he believes is still can be factual.
Let me ask you a question, right?
But yeah, I'm a hate.
So let's see what Joe Budden and the pod them say about this whole game and Kendrick situation. Are they siding with Kendrick? Do they feel like the game should not be poking the bear with Kendrick Lamar right now? And how everything fell out before the battle, after, and now?
You're going to keep running from that game and Kendrick.
What's there to run from?
Well, I mean, last week you said,
I said, I think game is this. I said, we talked about Game's project. We didn't cover any of the disses. And when I said that, it was, a couple people was like, I don't think he's dissing. Because he's also shouting Kendrick out on the album, which I say, that's a Game move, though. Game will diss you
And
shout you out. I think that's his way of saying it's just hip hop.
Okay.
Like I don't got no beef with you.
Right.
Game is ultra competitive in this hip hop shit. he truly believes he is one of the best.
You should. He's a rapper.
I believe he is one of the best. So I like when people that believe that act on it. And I do think that there's some, when the pop out happened, everybody was, the entire LA was there. No game.
I will say this real quick. I don't think there's nothing wrong with challenging other rappers. I want to make that clear because it's just like, that's what we talk about all the time, right? Hip hop is a sport. Hip hop is gladiator sport. It's all about competition. So if you want to come out, you want to challenge, that's fine, right? Kendrick had a problem with Drake. He came out and challenged him. Drake took up the challenge and he lost. I mean, I don't think it would be fair to say that Game can't do the same. I think the thing with Game is that he's disingenuous and he's flip-floppy. So it's like, dude, just make a decision and stand on it one way or another. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Enough with all the bullshit, right? If you the best from Compton, say that. Stand on it. If you're throwing shots, throw the shots and don't fucking backtrack or take it back, right? And if Kendrick decides to take up a battle, which he probably won't, but if he did, then it would be what it would be. But, I want to make sure I want to make sure I say that if he wants to throw the challenge out there, nothing wrong with that either.
The Super Bowl show.
Super Bowl show, yeah.
No game. So I do think he feels a little bit of like a chip on his shoulder.
Stepchild syndrome.
Yeah. And now I see all this love Kendrick is getting, and Kendrick is put up as the best rapper. And it's like, oh. I believe I rap better than him.
Where the fuck I've been for the last.
Yeah, but that's super jealousy. Like that's, I ain't gonna lie, man. That's a feminine trait. I can't lie. Like, dude, if it just do what you do. Just do what you do. I feel like this, as they say, man, the cream rises to the top. Kendrick didn't get where he at by hating. And contrary to what most Drake stans think, he ain't get where he at now by hating. He got where he at because he issued a challenge and the challenger lost. That's it. And those two had issues, right? For years and years. And I'm talking about as far as like the battle. I'm not talking about how he got where he at in his career. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about as far as post-battle stuff. But no, Kendrick got where he got in his career just being him. Let me make sure I say that right before y'all try to say I said something I didn't say. He got where he's at in his career by being himself. He didn't have to come out and hate on niggas every time somebody seemed like they was getting more shine than him. He didn't feel the need that when something's going on with one person, I got to jump on the track and diss this person. I got to diss Ross. I got to diss Eminem. Oh, I ain't got no problems. He didn't have to use Antics for his success. This is why people like the game get jealous, right? It's like, yo, I'm doing all this. I can rap. I jump on this beat. I do that. And y'all still ain't paying me no attention. What is that telling you, man? What is that telling you? Just be a solid nigga, stand on your shit and do your thing. And people, if it's good enough, people gonna recognize it and give you the recognition you deserve. But he always on that bullshit. And it ain't the good type.
Yeah, I made West Coast rappers cool again. Wow.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
he did.
You can take credit for that.
He did.
No.
He did.
You can say that.
It's clear.
No.
He did. I don't think you can debate that.
I wasn't debating that.
So the game definitely have a love-hate relationship with Kendrick Lamar. When we first seen him pass the torch with Dr. Dre and the rest of the guys, we thought like, listen, this is good for hip hop. OGs passing the torch to a young upcoming rapper that's putting a legacy back on Compton. We got it. It was supposed to be love from that point. But that love turned into hate soon as the pop out in the Drake battle happened. He refused to pick a side with Kendrick. He stayed on the fence talking about Drake his guy, even though he rocked with Kendrick, that's his guy too. This whole back and forth thing. Kept putting out little subliminals, little shit here and there. And it's like, bro, why? Now you put out this mixtape, you throw shots or subliminals in the mixtape. People dissect the bars and feel.
And see, here's the problem. Still, most people are talking more about the antics and the disses and this and that than just his talent, right? You got to bring in the bullshit. If I feel like this too. If you feel you the best and you can out rap anybody and you so talented, then Throw all the other shit to the side. Put your best forward, your best project without none of the bullshit, and see how people respond. See the type of reception they get. Then, can people still show that level of interest, that level of enthusiasm and excitement about a project that ain't got nothing to do with bullshit? Just you rapping. Since you the best, you should be able to get that done.
Looks like that's direct line to Kendrick. Some of this can't even be avoidable. It's not even a sub at this point. It's almost direct at this point.
How you look when you constantly, it's been a few years now with the I'm the best rapper from the West. It's been a few years of there seemingly being something between him and Kendrick. During the old Kendrick-Drake beef, he had some questionable moves.
He was with Drake.
You know, he's got a record with Drake.
Mm-hmm. They had a business together, some shit, I think, too.
That may be true.
Yeah, they personal.
I don't know. All I'm saying is it looks away on game.
And I mean,
and you rap good enough to where you don't need to do all that. I'm the best rapper.
Plus, what about a game Kendrick versus? A game Kendrick versus. Game ain't keeping up. I'm talking about hits and shit like that. Whatever metric y'all want to put on a versus. Game ain't keeping up with Kendrick on the verses, bro. Come on, let's just be for real. He's not keeping up.
Rapper from Compton.
That's not true.
If I keep getting overlooked,
that's marketing.
And y'all are intentionally not mentioning me, because the people that don't mention Game, it ain't because of his rapping ability. It's because of the other shit. It's always because of, you know, the antics and these things. He gets overlooked, not just because pen to paper. Because if you just looking at him for that, you can't overlook him.
Is Game a better rapper than Kendrick?
No. That conversation came up. I have Game as the best out of Compton. So yes, better rapper, yes. Better artist, no.
Nigga.
Just rapping bar for bar, absolutely.
No.
I think Game can rap with anybody in the world.
Yeah.
I just think it's tough to discard artistry.
That's why
this is the point I made in the beginning, right? Game can rap. He can rap his ass off, no doubt about it. You can't take aspects of someone's talent, chop it off, and compare it to someone else who's less talented just to make that person look bigger or better. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. It's the whole package. What does this person have to offer? What does this person bring to the table? That's the difference. And this is aside from any sort of manufacturing being done. So no ghostwriters, no reference tracks, no this, no that, right? We talking about pure rapping ability, writing ability, performance ability, all of that. That all goes into it. When you talk about who's the best, that's the difference in a lot of cases, right? In a lot of cases, not every case, but in a lot of cases, that's the difference between who becomes a star and who doesn't. It's not just rapping ability. That doesn't necessarily make you better than someone else. How do you present that? How do you package it up? How do you feed that to the audience? How do you get them to connect? All of that's part of it. So you can't just compartmentalize or not compartmentalize, but you can't just like segregate aspects and chop it off just so you can make this other person look better. That's kind of what they doing. Oh, you know, he's a better artist, but no, nigga. No, he's better overall, and he's a fucking better rapper at that. So like these arguments sometimes they just try to chop and move this out the way and move that. Now let's put them next to each other. If you got to do all that, that's telling you right there the guy's not better, because you can't say to yourself, all things considered, like let's take everything we got, the whole package, and put them up to each other. Who comes out on top?
It depends on what conversation we having.
No, it don't.
You can be a great rapper and not as great of an artist.
I agree with that.
And I think Game is a top tier rapper.
I pulled up the Game Meek diss over Young and May shit last week. Mm-hmm. It's harder now. It was hard then.
Why now?
Well, it was hard then, but
okay.
Hearing it now, it aged. Not so much what he's saying about Meek, but just his voice on that beat, talking that LA Philly shit. It was a good listen.
So you know what I go to?
I pulled up Meek too, dissing Game. There were good disses exchanged in that beef that might have got overlooked.
During the time when Tyga was dissing Dirk, they was going through it, and Game just jumped in out of nowhere, literally because he said, I just jump in the middle of beef because I don't like nobody. And you dissing a nigga from the West, I'ma diss you. It was over the Chirac beat. one of the more harder beats in the last however many years. And he smoked that record. It gets overlooked again because it's like, yo, Game, nobody was talking to you. Why are you in this beat? Like, he goes out of his way to remind y'all that, yo, I do this shit. And I will rap against any of you niggas.
But that don't make you better. That's like a nigga who like to fight, who can fight, but like, you know, his record ain't that good. He's like a mid fighter. Maybe just right above, a cut above most, but not really at the top with the cream of the crop. But he'll fight you. He'll definitely fight you. He ain't gonna back down, and it's gonna be a hard fight. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's willing to fucking battle somebody, don't make him the best. Like, nobody asks for this shit anyway. That's why nobody pays attention to most of it. And it don't mean he can't rap. But that doesn't mean he's a better rapper than Kendrick. None of that does.
When he was dissing Ross, like, Game will just jump out the window and diss anybody because I can rap. And if any of you niggas want to rap with me, let's go.
And he makes great albums too. I don't want to leave this at
Great
just
album.
like
Amazing.
just
albums.
a good rapper.
And I ain't gonna lie, I take Ross over Game. It's just far as like my taste goes. I'll take Ross over Game. What do y'all think? Who do y'all take between Ross and Game? I know that was like a side, but I take Ross over Game.
I have his. He has a top 5-6 discography in hip hop, in my opinion.
I love
Overall,
that
just
tape.
counting discography, every project you've made, Game's discography is up there.
I love that new tape.
But the fact that Kendrick just came off a legendary run and you still have the audacity to say some of this stuff sounds crazy and sounds thirsty as fuck. Why would you do that?
Let's be honest. Do we think Game would have wrote anything close to a Not Like Us? This is what I'm talking about. The Game's willingness to battle is unmatched. All right. Nobody's questioning his heart as a rapper, as a battle, someone who's willing to battle. But do we really think, had he gotten, we've seen on, like, he's been in many battles. What song of his has ever really taken off like that? We've seen Kendrick write songs that step by step, they were different in content and addressed different issues, but like all culminated in this like crescendo. And Not Like Us is just honestly genius in its simplicity and just in the ability. Look, I'm gonna make it simple, clear cut, to the point, but it's gonna be funny, it's gonna be witty, and it's gonna be catchy. Now, of course, he didn't probably know it would become as big as it did, but I mean, we got to really take that into account. The fact that really he was just playing with Drake. Honestly, it was just way too easy. He didn't even have to try for real. It was so easy. In fact, he said, I'm just going to make all these ahead of time. And if I got to tweak them, I'll tweak them, because this really ain't that difficult. And he was working on other stuff in the process that we know of. So look, I don't think Game has that ability, man. I just really don't.
That to your legacy. So does this hurt Game's legacy at this point? Does this make any impact on his current standing in hip hop? Or do the culture just look at this as, okay, he's just trying to be competitive?
Game is who he is at this point.
It is what it is, no big deal. Or do we feel some type of way about this behavior?
I loved his first album, first album, like, you know, I fell off after that. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like even when you compare them, I feel like younger Game compared to Kendrick, I could see where you're going, but right now, Game compared to Kendrick, to me, Kendrick was just a better guy.
I think Kendrick is one of the best artists we have in hip hop. Yeah. But if I'm just talking rap,
hey, Ice, man. Yo, these niggas be trying to do everything they can not to say Kendrick's a better rapper. Nigga, that's all he do. He just showed y'all. He picked apart y'all main man, limb for limb, easy, light work. What the one dude used to say, what was this name? Was it Ronnie Coleman? Lightweight, lightweight, lightweight.
Yeah, baby. Lightweight, baby.
That's what he did to Drake, man. This is lightweight. Late day, nigga. Shit, go ahead and put that 600 on the rack. We're going to warm up with that. Yo, man, these guys, man, they just hate to say Kendrick is just a better rapper. They just want to say he's an artist. He's this. No. He's a better everything.
The ability to rap about anything, whether we doing a diss record, whether we doing a club rap, whatever we doing, Game can do it. You can put me on a track with anybody. I can rap with them.
So
I can rap with their style.
Kendrick do the
rap
same
with
shit.
my own style, except who?
I said so can Kendrick.
I'm just saying, I think Game just does it better.
Okay.
And does it more often. Kendrick has the luxury of not dropping as much.
Okay.
He's got a game cape on.
Yeah.
He definitely got a game cape on, boy. Golly. But just because Kendrick don't do it as often, still see all these fucking arguments makes no sense. I don't care how much he does it. It doesn't mean he's better. He can do this shit every week, twice a week if he wanted to. That don't make him better. It don't make him better, man. That's why. And think about it. He just dropped this mixtape. If it wasn't for all these antics, we wouldn't honestly be even really talking about it all like that. Tell the truth, y'all. Tell the truth. If it wasn't for the Kendrick shit, nobody'd be talking about that. Nobody's talking about the lyrics. I don't hear none of them quoting no lyrics from it. I don't hear none of that. Come on, Mike. Come on.
I'm not mad at
Game
that.
is my man. So
I don't have a.
but
it's
you
not
got a game cape.
No, it's not a cape. I'm
It's
literally
definitely a cape.
explaining.
You
these-
look like a hating ass, not you. You look like a hating ass nigga to continue to say I'm better than the person who just put up arguably one of the best years you've ever seen in hip hop.
Yeah,
There's no way
serious.
to spin it.
Because I'm
He
saying
could be a great rapper. He could be one of the best from the West Coast. If you constantly say, he's not saying I'm the best rapper. He's saying I'm the best rapper from Compton. You know what you're doing. You know how it looks.
yeah, I think
And he with all that.
and I
He's
think
with all that.
and I think he's hating on Kendrick. But I still think what he believes is still can be factual.
Let me ask you a question, right?
But yeah, I'm a hate.
If you played for the Knicks and you dragging Rick Brunson every day in practice, but don't nobody know.
Jalen or Rick?
I mean Jalen, I'm sorry. You dragging Jalen Brunson every day in practice. You him. When you get in, you do your thing. Like even when you get in the garbage minutes, or let's say, God forbid, Jalen Brunson gets hurt, you get in. You put up hella numbers. But back to the bench you go when he comes back. There's going to be some animosity there because you keep getting overlooked for playing time. So now the only way I could come out and say, yo, look at us. I want the
No. That's a better analogy because it ain't the same. Because in that situation, really, the coach kind of control that. So the coach can, even if they do got some, maybe they don't like you that much. I don't know. It could be some favoritism. It could be anything. But the coach got a lot of control over that too. In the game situation, you know, rappers are rappers, right? It's like really, yes, you got the labels and you got this and that, but your talent is going to speak for itself. If you got what it takes to connect with people and to get to the top, you're going to get there. I just don't know. I don't really like this analogy. I see what he's saying, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
world to look at us is for me to do this intentional shit where I'm saying, yo, I'm the best rapper from Compton.
No one
now-
who y'all gonna pick me up against.
Now y'all gonna go say, yo, you know Kendrick from Compton, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the best rapper from Compton, and y'all keep overlooking me. He basically is marketing himself in all of these interviews for free.
And not just that, I'm gonna use you as a rapper. There was a rapper, I'm not gonna say his name, of course, but there was one of them ones that you said, I want him. If he ever jump out, I want him. You know what I'm talking about?
We all know.
I said a lot, but I think.
But you know who I'm talking
know
about.
who you're talking about.
In particular, the reason was because he ain't as nice as y'all think he is. It was you didn't like the fact that you know your pen, and everybody keeps saying he's here. That nigga ain't nicer than me. So when he jump out, I'm gonna make an example out of him. I could see Kendrick on that same type of time.
Game, you mean?
Yeah, excuse me. I can see Game on that same type of time. Y'all keep saying this nigga is the king of Compton, the king of LA, the king of California, all of this right here. I rap better than him.
I got all of that. We being repetitive. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm only talking about how it looks. Had I come out and said,
Yeah, but how many fighters think they was better than the other fighter and talk shit and did all that and got in the ring and got whooped? I don't know, man. I feel like these arguments is just falling flat on their face, bro. There's a lot of fighters had all the confidence in the world, sounded good, got the moves and shit, right? All that when they fight, hitting the bag, and got some pretty good fights under their belt. You know, they just don't understand why they think this guy's such a great fighter until they get in the ring and they find out why after they get lumped up.
yo, I'm waiting like Lil Khalif in the bushes for this rapper to come out because he's not what y'all think, and I'm gonna prove it. I could be saying some true shit. I'm also gonna come off like I ain't that nigga.
And I might be baiting them.
Because what's more hip hop?
And I might be baiting them to come.
What's more hip hop than saying what's more hip hop than saying you're the best and claiming your hood at the same time? That's just rap shit. You know what I mean? We are being repetitive, but
I do agree with that. Every rapper should always say they did the best.
Yeah. And we're very territorial. You know what I mean? We claim blocks we don't own. That's what we do. Neighborhoods that we have no stock in. That's what we do. So if I'm from Compton, I'm gonna say that best. But I feel like he always gives that FOMO shit. You know, some people just have FOMO. The guy that always writes no invite on the picture when it's a group picture, he's not in it. He always gives that, like he being left out.
I'm sorry. So I'm still having difficulty him putting this out, even though he sent it to Top TDE and Kendrick before dropping it. And he say he don't have any issues with Kendrick. He's just
that's what he
do. He operates hip hop like being a sport. So should Doc be okay with this? Should Doc come out and go at the game's head for this? Which is
no, ignore that nigga, man. He don't deserve the time of day, honestly.
Seems like what he wants. He wants some of that K.GNX Super Bowl legendary run attention.
Game mad. Drake got all that attention. That's what it really is. Game mad. Drake got all that attention, man, and got his ass kicked in the process. Like, damn. You gave Drake 4 tracks. What was it? Euphoria, 616, Meet the Grounds. Yeah. You gave Drake 4 tracks, all that attention just for that nigga to sue. Battle me, nigga. I won't sue at least. Damn.
K-Dot to kind of shed light and help his awareness on this project is given jealousy at this point. So the ultimate question is, should Kendrick respond? Should Kendrick jump in the ring with the game, even though I don't know if anybody want to see that shit? Yeah, it's a sport. Yeah, I'm sure the game and Kendrick can hold their own. But to go trading insults with Kendrick right now sounds crazy. So what do you guys make of this?
All right, so I got to retract the statement I made. I said in my last video about the game, when this all first happened, that I wouldn't mind seeing the game Kendrick battle. I'm going to have to walk that back. No, I don't want to see that. Only because it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Maybe some years ago, I don't know, early, but it ain't worth it. And honestly, I think Kendrick's in a place where when you take out the top guy, you should choose carefully who, if anybody else, you get into a battle to. You don't just let a nigga like the game come sneaking and squirming his way back in and get you into a battle. For what? No, you don't do that. And it ain't got nothing to do with being afraid or anything like that. It's just being smart. Why would I give this nigga an opportunity? Your homie, who you look up to, your big homie, Drake. I beat that nigga into the courtroom. Fuck, I'm gonna come rap with you for. No, I don't think so. That's not how it works. You don't become the champ just to go fight a fucking somebody who's still trying to come through the ranks of shit, right? He has some fights and shit like that, but he didn't earn his way to be on the card with the champion. He ain't earned his way to be on the card with the champion. So no, I don't want to see that. Yeah, and that's always my disclaimer, y'all. I always reserve my right to change my mind, just so you know. All right, man. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. Make sure you hype the video up, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.